In today's Military Monday, we're remembering our fallen soldiers on this Memorial Day. Joining us now is Colonel Reid Novotny with the U.S. Air Force. Colonel, thank you so much for being here today. And I know we owe those in our military much more than just a thank you, but I did want to express my personal gratitude for your service.
Oh, thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
So, Colonel, tell me a little bit about, what we really need to think about on this day. And I know that, sadly, the numbers are skyrocketing when it comes to the suicide rates among our soldiers and those who serve.
You're exactly right. So we have a lot of airmen, soldiers, Marines that go through their service, and they do a great job in the service, but then they're troubled when they leave the service or even during the service. Right now, there's an estimated 6,000 to 7,000 veterans who are committing suicide every year, to include some of the people that are down in Operation Lone Star and our southern border. They've actually had some suicides during that mission set too. So this is not just a World War II or Vietnam era. This is current soldiers too facing these problems.
We live here in Tampa, is home to Central Command, MacDill Air Force Base. We have a lot of military members here, and I have close friends that serve, and I think it's important, if you have that opportunity, you say spend time with living veterans and listen to their stories. Why is that so important?
It's really important because Memorial Day affects everyone very differently, especially if you've served. So we have a lot of members, just like myself. I've had friends who have gone overseas and died. So we'll have stories that we can help memorialize those members so we don't lose faith. There's so many, and I know around your community, there's so many members who are Gold Star families. So they've lost a family member. Really having them tell their story and listen to their story, it really just helps everyone out. Make sure we remember what they've done for their sacrifice to keep us free here at home.
I can speak from a civilian standpoint that a lot of times you get around a military person, you don't know exactly what to say. Does a simple thank you sound trite? What do you do? But, for these families that have lost soldiers, have lost their loved ones, thanking them is really important too.
It is, and really it is the family members that are left behind that are most severely affected. They know what it takes to make that ultimate sacrifice. Those members, I've spoken to so many Gold Star families, they really just want to be able to share their story, to make sure that their loss for their family, their loss on behalf of this country was not done in vain. So we just really need to make sure that we as Americans, let alone the fact that I'm still in the Guard here, we as Americans just say thank you as much as we can around Memorial Day today, but also around the entire year.
And a very popular trend here in the Tampa Bay area is hiring veterans, which, from many business owners that I've spoken to, they're like, really? That is one of the best hires that you could make because they're disciplined, they show up, they're loyal. All the same qualities that make them excel in the military is what makes them, excel when they move into civilian life.
The qualities that a person in the military bring are almost universal. So we are all sent through things like basic training and boot camp that you've heard about. But really what that's supposed to teach people is that loyalty, that dedication to something higher than themselves, and really that commitment. And so you can take it to the bank if you're in any type of business, that when you hire a veteran, they're going to understand those principles and they're going to be loyal to your company. They're going to work hard. They're going to show up every day. They're going to be trustworthy. And really, hiring a veteran is a simple thing to do, and it really makes a difference because of the things we've talked about at the beginning of this interview also.
We have just under a minute left, actually 30 seconds. Any parting words to our viewers before we say goodbye?
You have to remember, we are in a time where we have an all-volunteer force. So every single member who comes into our military or is currently serving in our military, they understand the sacrifice that could be made. The Code of Conduct says, the first article, I am an American, fighting in the forces which defend our country and our way of life. I am prepared to give my life in their freedom. So just remember, all these people have signed up to give up to that ultimate sacrifice, and just say thank you to the veterans out there, and especially the families who have lost loved ones.
Colonel, thank you so much for joining us today on Bloom.
Thank you so much for having me.
And for more information, you can head to WFLA.com/Bloom. We'll be back with more Bloom right after this.